Welcome back to the Core Cars News Tech Lab. Today we're going to be taking a look at 10 100% free Fire TV apps for your Fire TV, Fire TV Stick, and more. Now these are services on a variety of different devices, and I've already done my top 10 for the Roku, and I'll put a link up here in the corners for that. But these are my top 10 for the Fire TV. I'd love to know your top picks for the free legal ad-supported streaming services. Leave me a comment, let me know if you like something here, or if you think I should have added something to this list. I'd love to hear from you. Lastly, before we get into the full breakdown of my top 10, hey, can you help us grow? Could you help us support our families here? All you have to do is hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. Doing so lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here. So YouTube recommends our videos to more people, helping us grow, helping us support our families, and hopefully we can help you break free from the high cost of cable TV just to watch the shows that you enjoy. Well, in no particular order, let's get started here with Plex. Now, you're probably familiar, while that loads real quick, you're probably familiar with this as a service that allowed you to manage your content from your computer. So if you had content, you could watch it here with that. Now they have an ad-free streaming service that has a ton of great movies and televisions and its shows, and it's growing all the time here. This is really becoming one of the best and unknown free ad streaming services here. So with this, you can, with ads, watch all these movies 100% free and legal. Huge collection of this with it, and they do also have live content. So you got Stories by AMC, Ion Television, a Walking Dead universe channel, Baywatch, Top Gear, and more, and stuff from Hallmark Movies and more here, BritBox, British content here with that. All kinds of 100% free ad-supported content, both live and on demand. So check that out. If you think of Plex just as a media server company, there's so much more now. Check that out. I'll put a link to them down in the show notes and in the first pinned comment down below. All right, let's start with Pluto TV. Now, Pluto TV has become one of the largest, most well-known streaming services that is 100% free, with over 100 live channels and a ton of on-demand content. Let's go to the channel guide here so I'm getting copyright claims. It's a really nice service here. So you have, of course, the huge collection of live channels. You got RoboCop 2, RoboCop 3 are coming up on the Reaction channel. They got comedy, drama. They also have, if I can get it to scroll, there we go, horror, music, rewinds from the 80s, rewinds from the 90s, 2000s, Paramount Movie Channel. The list goes on and on. You can go in here, different categories, go down to crime, reality, daytime, classic TV, food. Let's go down to, I want to get to news real quick to give you an idea. Here we go, news and opinion. I went right by it. So you can see CBS News from all kinds of different markets, CNN Replay, NBC News Now, the Today Show all day. There's a breakdown of Today Show content, 60 Minutes, Weather Nation, Sky News, Bloomberg. Tons of news services here with this. So let's, there we go. Oh, I apologize, backed out too far there. But Pluto TV, one of the larger ones out there with both over 100 live channels and a ton of on-demand content. You can also access all that on demand with it. Let's keep going here with Tubi. Now, Tubi advertises themselves as the largest collection of movies and television shows. This is actually owned now by Fox. They bought it not that long. Actually, it's been a few years now. But so you got a ton of Fox content, but you also have content from other places. But it also includes local news from Fox affiliates. So you see here in West Michigan, my local Fox feed is here for local news with that. But then you also have things like NBC News Now, Court TVs streaming on here, Ion, TMZ, Noisy, and there's an NFL channel full of NFL content with it and more. And it also has on-demand content of recent Fox programming like Top Chef and different ones here. Let me see here if it's in the feature to give you an idea. Dance Moms are in here with this. So you can log into this and do not need to log in. It will prompt you to try to get you to log in. You do not need to do that. I got X over here. I have to find the exit. But if you don't want to log in, that's fine. You don't need to. So keep that in mind. All right, so the news is one of the biggest things I get asked. Hey, I want to cancel. I don't really care for live TV, but I do like to have news. And Local Now used to be well known for that, for the Weather Channel's Local Now and news. But it's a lot more than just weather and news now. So with this, there we go, you also get live channels. So many of the same ones you've seen here. You got the 911 record. You got local news feed channels, but then you also have movies and television shows. So right here you can see tons of different movies, comedy, drama programming. You can go down here to faith and family, gaming, all kinds of stuff. So if you just think of Local Now as the weather channels, new on the 8's feed with local news and local weather, so much more than that. Still has that, but it also has movies and television shows. I highly recommend you check that out. All right, let's back out here and let's keep moving along to Crackle. Now, Crackle is actually owned by the same group that owns Redbox, has a huge collection of movies and television shows, including a lot of BBC content. So if you love BBC here, tons of that. These are all ad-supported movies and television shows here with it. Both classic stuff, like The Craig, if you consider that classic, let me know if you do, and newer programs. They also have a ton of movies. Here's the RoboCop. The series, actually I thought that was a movie. That's the series. Who here remembers the series RoboCop? But tons of both new and old program here. And while you will see repeating content of different kinds from these, where you'll see repeats on, for example, Crackle that you saw on Pluto TV, they all have their own thing. And the best part is they're all 100% free, so there's no reason not to get them all. So let's keep moving along. Freevee. Now this is actually Amazon's one. So Amazon now has their own ad-supported streaming service they've had for a few years. It's had a few different names, but now it's called Freevee. And with this, you get a ton of content, and they have a bunch of exclusive content like Judge Judy's Judy Justice. That is the continuation of the Judge Judy show with a new name, exclusively here, only airs on this. So check that out, 100% great option for news and more. But they don't just have original contents like Judy Justice here. They have a ton of movies and television shows partnered from a variety of different places. Like White House Down is here. Bill and Ted Face the Music, the new Bill and Ted movie. Star Trek Beyond. A lot of new content, a lot of older content. They also have originals like we were talking about here. Some cooking shows, movies, television programs, and more. Disney Parks Undiscovered here. The Smurfs movie, all kinds of stuff, including some live stuff like Ion Television and more. So if you have not checked out Freeview from Amazon, which is kind of hard because they kind of push it pretty hard in the Fire TV, check that out here. There's a lot of movies and a lot of television programs in it that you won't find other places. And of course you have the original programming with it. All right, so let's go down to Fawsome. Now this advertises as a free service that not only has big blockbuster name movies and television shows, but also some very niche stuff. A lot of classic programming. Right here, tons of Western content with it. But they also have all these categories: Westerns, action, horror, sci-fi, black cinema, comedy, romance, documentaries, thrillers, drama. The list goes on and on and on with it. And this is where they really kind of, I think, stand out from others, is they really kind of say, hey, if you're like really into mysteries, we have mysteries for you. And they can really dive into a huge number of categories with this. And for example, Westerns, like we were just looking at. They also have new seasons of stuff. For example, Hell's Kitchen, new season now available with it, and more. So tons of content. And the real selling point of Fawsome over the other services out there on the market is the fact that they market themselves as, hey, we are super focused on different categories. If you have a particular niche genre you like Westerns, we can fill that with a whole lot more. Now, so let's go back to local news. So we talked about the weather channels, Local Now, for local news, local weather, but what about your local television show? News On and Haystack TV have a huge collection of these. For example, where I live, they have ABC, Fox, and my CBS here. And I can watch live and replays of the local news and local programming on it. They also have national feeds. So, for example, if something big's happening in Chicago, I can go to Chicago and watch the local news there if I so want. And I can browse around. Maybe you have family and friends that live in another part of the country and you're going to visit them and you want to see the local weather from that. You just find a station there. But, for example, my local NBC is not in this. The good news is that's fine because they actually... let me actually exit out of this. They have that over on Haystack. Haystack's a very similar service to News On. It takes your local news plus other news feeds, national feeds and more, and puts it on here. But you see, my Fox is also here, but NBC's here. but it doesn't have my ABC, it doesn't have my CBS. So between the two, I'm able to watch all of my local channels, weather and news here. Plus, I can also, in this Haystack app, jump around to the different categories and watch a ton of movies, or excuse me, watch a ton of news from different services from there. And lastly, the Roku channel. Now this one, people are probably going to say, the Roku channel on the Fire TV? Yes, and it actually kind of even looks like a Roku interface. They got the purple and the very much Roku-esque interface. But the Roku channel is one of the largest ad-supported streaming services now out there. They have a lot of original content. For example, the Weird Al movie is only available here, and they got others coming. Now they do have, for example, the categories you expect, everything from the 80s, Airwolf, Red Dawn, Steel Magnolias, Elf, TJ Hooker, and more all here. They got comedy, stand-up, love and marriage, section of stuff leaving soon, constantly adding new stuff and rotating it. But they also have a live TV section here. Let's just jump into this. A huge collection of live and on-demand program here. Tons of different NBC News local affiliates. We're in the news section right now, so USA Today, to the Today Show, The Hill, the Young Turks, OAN. The list goes on. Sports, PGA channel, NHL channel. Just goes on and on. You keep going down, you're going to find stuff like movies and television shows all through here too. BTE has a channel on here and more. So check this out. Tons of free 100% content that I could go on and talk about forever. These were my top 10. And let's go over them real quick. So you have Plex, Pluto TV, Tubi, Local Now, Crackle, Freeview, Fawsome, News On, Haystack, and the Roku channel. If you want to find any of these, I will put a link to them all in the show notes down below and in the first pinned comment. But leave me a comment. Let me know, what do you like of these top 10? What don't you like of these top 10? What would you have added to it? I'll love to hear from you. Until next time, take care, be safe. I'll be back again real soon.